So in this video, I'll show you the exact steps I wish I took as a first year to build options early. My name is Mary, I'm a former strategy consultant and a Big Four auditor. For the past 12 years, I've helped students and young professionals figure out how to stand out and get hired. So let's start with how you would even begin thinking about careers. Step 1 would be to define, even if roughly, what sort of job you would like to have after graduation. I wish I did that and I went a bit beyond than just saying, well, I want a nice office job. I wish I've done some research, because that would have saved me a lot of time in my second year when I had to do that research, plus applying for summer internships. In your first year, you don't need a perfect answer, you just need some direction. So think broadly in terms of what category of job you might find interesting. What industry would it be in? What type of work would it be? Would it be client-facing or will it be internal? Would it be in a big city or will it be somewhere local? What sort of work-life balance are you hoping to achieve? What sort of specialization would the job be in? Would it be in line with your degree or not? Where would that job be and what sort of salary would it have? We're talking about very high-level definitions here, nothing specific at this stage yet. And I would encourage you not to follow the follow your passion advice just yet, because passion is something that's quite difficult to define and the definition is fluid anyway. You might change what you like and what you're passionate about by your final year. So unless you can find a job description that encapsulates your dream job straight away, I would encourage you to keep looking. Try not to be too rigid, too selective with what sort of job you might want to do after graduation. The market is extremely competitive, so if you're limiting yourself about things that you're only truly passionate about, you might end up with nothing at all. All I'm saying, keep your options open. As a first-year student, all you really need to do is spend maybe 30-60 minutes every week looking at what's out there in terms of graduate jobs. There are plenty of websites to help you with that. Places like YouTube, LinkedIn, Wikijobs, The Student Room, Reddit, eFinancial Careers, plenty of places for you to explore. And did I really say YouTube? You sure bet I did, because the day-in-life videos from the graduates that are currently following a certain graduate scheme are quite useful and interesting to get an idea for the vibe of the place or the work-life balance. Just keep in mind that YouTubers and other influencers tend to slightly exaggerate things because they need those tasty clicks. Take note of what you feel when you read or watch something. For example, does international travel every week sound exhausting or exciting? Do you want to use your degree in your job or not? Do you roll your eyes at every Londoner paying £7 for an artisan coffee every lunch break? Or do you dream about walks through Canary Wharf every morning? Do you wish you were constantly working as part of a team like a consultant would? Or do you want to focus on roles where you're given an individual task more often than not? Does it bother you when some investment banker says that they work 12-hour days Monday through Sunday? Or do you think you're up for the challenge because it motivates you and excites you and it's something that you've always wanted to do? All of your feelings and thoughts are great hints in terms of what job might actually suit you after graduation. And if you're still completely lost about your career direction, I made a separate video about how to find the job that might suit you. Link is in the description. Step 2 is to understand what your university career services can actually do for you. Don't roll your eyes at me. These can be extremely helpful if you know what's on offer. If I bothered in my first year to just check what sort of events and resources they can offer me access to, it would have saved me a lot of time in my second year, because at that point I was already halfway through my applications and the thought of checking didn't even occur to me. Most students fail to see the value of the university career services for one of the two reasons. They either use them too late or they expect them to help with the biggest question of them all: what the hell should I do after university? And think about it this way, most universities have over 10,000 undergrads in their care, and the career service teams tend to be 20-25 people max. You do the maths. Do you really think that they can offer tailored advice to every single student who comes through their doors? Because this is not something that you can solve within 1 or even 2 sessions with a career advisor. So it's just not practical. Instead, what you need to do is to understand what they have on offer now. So when you do need help, you know where to get it. And no, I'm not just talking about the standard offerings of the career fairs, CV reviews, and interview mocks, and not even the how to get hired webinars, although those are quite helpful as well. And because many undergrads actually overlook university career services, all of these basic offerings are quite frequently undersubscribed, so you actually do get that special attention in some cases. However, some university career service offerings are less known but equally as helpful. For example, subscriptions to third-party platforms that might help you with psychometric tests or case interview preparation, or even some of the subscription-based job boards. This would cost you money if you did it on your own, but university usually allocates a decent sum to pay for these subscriptions. Some universities might offer access to industry-specific independent career advisors and coaches. These people used to be quite senior in HR and recruitment, or were just industry leaders, and they're excellent source of feedback on your CV and cover letter, and some of them might even do a mock interview with you as well. And then there is my favorite one, which is access to alumni, usually in the form of a mentorship program or just having an alumni database. Alumni are a great source of advice and information for the current students. First of all, if you find somebody in the database, chances are they knew and gave consent to be included in that database, knowing that the current students might reach out and ask questions about their career. Alumni are a great, safe way to learn about a particular industry and start building your early career network. You are going to have to do that eventually anyway. And if you manage to find someone who did your degree and now has your dream job, that's like hitting a jackpot. They were in your shoes and now they achieved something you want to achieve. They'll be a great source of inspiration, but also information, advice, and just general motivation. Finally, career service teams are actively trying to build connections with the top UK employers, specifically their recruitment teams. So if you're applying for a particular company and you have questions on the application process, they will be able to help you, or at least put you in touch with the right recruiter. As you can see, there is a lot on offer, and as a first year, you have the luxury of exploring this at your own pace, no pressure, and making note of what might be helpful in a year or so. Don't sleep on this. University career services are honestly the most underused resource on campus, a complete goldmine that most students ignore. They can help you a lot if you know how to use them. If you are not sure how to do that, I've created a career service do's and don'ts document that you can download for free. Link is in the description. Step 3 would be attending some of the society and employer events on campus. I wish I did that instead of attending just an occasional monthly meeting and a social in my first year. Many career and degree-focused societies tend to have corporate sponsors, and these sponsors usually come on campus to give a talk or a skill-building workshop. And yes, these events are usually aimed at final and penultimate year students, but that doesn't mean that the first years are barred from attending. Just by showing up, you will build exposure to industries and companies you may never even heard of before without having the pressure of remembering every single thing that they say. You just need to remember enough to build your awareness and give yourself a heads up when it's your time to apply. And as an added bonus, you will definitely meet students who are going through the recruitment process right now, and quite a few of them will succeed. So when it's your time to apply, you know exactly whom to ask for advice. And wink wink, attendance at such events will obviously help you meet the current society committee, and you can learn about what positions will be open next year. And yes, there will be something for everyone. Employers absolutely love people who take responsibility and learn skills during their time at university, and having a society leadership position is one of the easiest ways to put that across to them. And from the committee's point of view, of course, they'll want to give the position to somebody who showed dedication from day one. So you're increasing your chances of success there as well. In short, low effort and low pressure to attend as a first year, with huge dividends and return for awareness and connections later down the line. Step 4, try and get into one of those spring weeks, insight days, or mentorship schemes. Oh, how I wish I did that as a first year. There were so many options and I just ignored them all. Insight days are pretty self-explanatory. They're giving you insight into what it's like to work at the particular company. Quite common for banks and professional services firms. Spring weeks are usually the extended version of insight days, and you guessed it, they take around a week. You will attend a couple of talks and workshops with the current employees to really learn about the company. Mentorship schemes are my favorite. They're usually a bit longer term, where you get matched with a mentor who helps you with career advice and application advice for that particular company. Websites like Bright Network, Target Jobs, GradCracker, and Prospects are an excellent way to start looking for these, but I would also encourage you to check directly on the big corporate websites for the career sections, early careers, and ask your career service as well. And you might say, Mary, I don't really care about IB or consulting or professional services. Why would I even bother? Well, I'll tell you why you should bother, because it's an excellent practice ground with no stakes. First of all, the application process is essentially a light version in terms of what you can expect from summer internships and graduate jobs. Applying for these will force you to research how to best answer the why you and why this company sort of questions. It will also force you to write your first CV and cover letter. And it won't be great at first because it's your first try. And I'll ask you this question: would you rather submit your not best version 1 CV for a spring week that you don't care about, or a summer internship that you actually might care about? Yeah, I thought so. So think of it as a low-stakes way to learn the ropes and practice for the real deal later on. And because the competition for these is quite high, not as bad as for summer internships and graduate jobs, you'll be able to see, do you actually get in or not? Or is it something that you need to learn in terms of what worked and what didn't for future application cycles when it actually does matter to you? Okay. But if you don't care and you do get in, you should still attend because it has many upsides. First of all, it will strengthen your profile and strengthen your CV. You will experience corporate environment, and that will help you build on the research that you did in step 1 in terms of understanding what you like and don't like for your future graduate job. Most of these companies also run workshops to build your skills, whether it's application skills, how to write a better CV and talk in an interview, or transferable skills, how to improve your commercial awareness or how to communicate in a professional environment. This is all useful and will come in handy no matter what you end up doing. And of course, you will meet people on the other side. So in particular, on the mentorship schemes, you will be matched with that mentor. And as an ex-mentor for the corporate scheme myself, I promise you, we care about the individuals, not necessarily you getting into our firm. So say you realize that you don't want to do consulting, your mentor will be able to give you broader career advice. And this is not something most students have access to. So use that, because even when the mentorship scheme ends, you can still stay in touch and ask for further advice later on. And finally, step 5, use your summer after first year to make a plan. And in all honesty, I did do this one and I would do it again because it was so helpful. First of all, I felt a bit more confident and more prepared compared to my peers when I went into my second year. And secondly, my CV got an upgrade because I was able to kind of research into what a good CV actually does. And in the grand scheme of things, I still consider this a relatively small effort because you have a bit more free time during your summer months. So use this time to reflect on your research that you've done as part of the steps we've covered in this video. Have you identified the potential industry or a company or a role that you might be interested in? Do they offer, for example, summer internships? You will be able to make a better plan for your second year. Applications for summer internships usually open in August or early September, the year before the internship actually takes place. And if you're still not sure, you now have time to do a deeper research and look more into your options. And use the summer to get even more experience. Volunteer, sign up for a campus job to herd freshers in September, start a passion project like an Etsy shop or I don't know, sneaker selling. And maybe a retail job, doesn't matter, get experience, level up. And a bonus point if you're feeling particularly brave. Follow the ultimate boomer advice and cold call some local company in the industry of your interest or at least close to it and ask them if they would like a summer intern on a fixed-term contract. If you do get in, great, you will get experience closer to what you want to do. And if you don't, you're building your rejection muscle, which you unfortunately will need later on in your life and more importantly, in your second year. No, but in all seriousness, you don't ask, you don't get. You showing initiative and being rejected is okay. The fact that you tried is what matters. No matter what you end up doing, it will help you either hone your existing skills or build new ones, and these are important to employers. So teamwork, communication, problem solving, leadership, all of this is gold dust to employers, and it will help you, I promise. And since you're using your free time to level up your skills, that just signals to recruiters that you're serious about job applications and just a serious candidate in general. First year is all about laying the foundation, and if you watch this far, you're already ahead of the most. The second year is where the momentum kicks in. So if you want to keep going, YouTube thinks that you'll like this video next. And if this video helped, give it a like, because that will tell YouTube algorithm to show it to more students. We're not gatekeeping here. Drop a comment if there is something specific you would like me to cover next. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series. Keep going, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!